at Cobb Rob, what's the likelihood Coach Prime leaves Colorado at all, much less for the Cowboys? Um, Cobb Rob, I do not think that he's going to leave Colorado. My guess would be that part of this is to try and get a new contract with the Buffaloes. He certainly deserves it based on what he's accomplished over 2 years. It's pretty remarkable. But if this did get more serious and they did go down the road, I could see Deion Sanders being a successful NFL coach. I do think he has some of the things that you need to be a good NFL coach. The first thing is the level of engagement he's going to be able to get from his players. I think it's going to be automatic, and it doesn't last forever. Yeah, eventually have to give him the answers to the test, but guys like Dan Campbell, Mike Vrabel, D'Amico Ryans can walk in the room and win that sort of engagement right away because they have the respect to the players in the room. It's something other coaches have to earn over the course of months, sometimes years. If you're as an ex-player, you can stand at the front of that room and get that level of engagement. And I think it's even at a higher level with Deion because of the way he's revered by players across the NFL. I can tell you when I worked with him at NFL Network and I would walk into NFL locker rooms with an NFL Network mic flag, they knew I worked with him. Almost every conversation ended with "Tell Prime I said what's up," even though I wasn't in the studio with Prime ever much at all. They all felt the need to say to me, "Hey, make sure you tell Deion I said hello." They all revere Deion. So many of them do. So I think the level of engagement he would get from the players again would be automatic. He's an old school coach. I think beyond all the trappings, is what a lot of people miss is that he is has a real 1990s feel to the way that he leads, does it with discipline, does it with fundamentals. And I think in that way, there's a lot of Belichick and Saban to him. And so I think like at the bones of it, like you would be getting a guy who's going to set up a program the right way. Now, I think what you'd need around that is the infrastructure to win from a scheme standpoint. And I don't know that he has that because he hasn't spent all those years in coaching. He's built some of that out at Jackson State and at Colorado, and he would need to build it out in the pros too. So if you're asking me like how successful he'd be, I think part of it would be what's going to be around him, because I do think his ability to sustain the message, his ability to sustain that engagement that I talked about, a lot of it will come down to, is he able to give the players all the answers to the test? And some of that always, for any coach, is going to relate back to what sort of assistant coaches you're bringing with you, what you're bringing in from a scheme standpoint. And so I think he could do it. I don't think he will. I don't think this is going to happen in this particular instance. But, if he wants to coach in the NFL at some point, I certainly could see it happening.